Alright guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but I went on a little bit of a hiatus, kind of a bit of a life change going on. I got married, my husband now, kind of weird, kind of awesome, mostly awesome, but so the 28th of May, Sarah and I got hitched. She's no longer my fiance, she's my wife, which it's a new word to get used to. And then from the 28th on, I was in honeymoon mode. We got married at Oak Canyon Nature Center in Anaheim. We stayed at the Fairfield Suites, right there, right down the street. Had an awesome reception, had a great time with all of our friends and family. For those who were there, thank you for showing up and celebrating with us the new covenant we've entered into, the promise we made not only to one another, but most importantly to God, to commit to one another and to Him for the rest of our lives into eternity. And so I don't know, when you start putting it in those terms, marriage isn't just about the paper, it's about the union between you and your spouse and God. Honestly, I had no idea what I was going to get on here and talk about, but that might be something I share about just what God's been revealing to me in that sense. But honeymoon was awesome. We went to London for 3 days. We went to Ireland for 3 days. London was killer. Saw everything that you would want to see. Saw Buckingham Palace. Saw London Eye. It's basically a giant Ferris wheel. Saw Big Ben. That was impressive. So much of the architecture and the history there is so rich and so breathtaking and quite incredible for the time period that they were made in. Ireland was a favorite. Went down to the pubs, the local pubs, and had a Guinness, obviously. Went to the Guinness storehouse and poured our own perfect pint and got our perfect pint certificates from the Guinness Academy. So we did all the touristy things, but we also got lost in the countryside a little bit, and there was thunder and rain and lightning in Ireland, and that was quite an experience. Something we hadn't really planned for, but we had an umbrella just in case there's rain in the forecast, but we didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. It was quite an awesome experience, and we flew in yesterday, landed in LAX at 6, got our baggage and got home and all that stuff by right about 9 o'clock, and fell asleep with my wife next to me and woke up next to her, and now it's adjusting to life and entering into this new season as no longer a boyfriend or fiance, but as a husband responsible for another life, another livelihood. So I knew I had to get back to work the next day. Thank God that jet lag is not an issue right now. Fell asleep pretty normally yesterday, feeling pretty good. Just normal early morning sleepiness, but that'll wear off. I'm excited to get back in the gym. Haven't touched a barbell, pull-up bar, or anything, and gosh, since the Thursday before I got married. So it's been a good almost 2 weeks. So I'm feeling it. Got the honeymoon bloating. Happens with beer. The plan was to visit a CrossFit box out there, but just the price and the driving and the time to spend, I just thought it'd be better just to enjoy each other and not worry about working out. I'm excited to get back in the swing of things. I'm excited to get back at it, get back in the saddle and start, doing what I believe God is calling me to do. And spent quite a bit of time reading on the plane on the ride back, not by choice. I didn't have anything else to do. There was no in-flight movie provided, so I read and I finished up Rich Froning's book. I think it's called First: What It Takes to Win. It's kind of just a autobiography of his time in the games, and he shares a lot about his faith in the last few chapters. It was really motivating. He CrossFits to glorify God, and whatever position or place that puts him in isn't going to determine the motivation for which he does it. He does it for God, through God, to God, to His glory. And so there was a part, I can't exactly remember how he phrased it, but he would basically, he was going to do what he was called to do, be obedient to that until God calls him out of it. And so that's kind of the feeling I have now with this, is the thrill and the excitement of the creative juices flowing out the gate. That time has passed, and it's past the 30 days of wanting to launch this. So it's time to pursue, it's time to persevere and carry on despite it feeling like it's not moving, but all in God's timing, obviously. And if this is just a thing for him and I to experience together, then so be it. But if I'm able to bless lives and encourage others through it, then to him be the glory. And it's not for me anyways, it's for you guys, it's for the people who are listening, who are reading, who are there to bring this fitness and spiritual community together. And who knows what that looks like, or what it'll be one day. I just know I've set my hand to the plow, and it's time to start putting some work in. Going back to the idea of the covenant, that was something that I wanted our pastor to express. And if you were at our wedding, that was something he shared about, was the depth and the weight of a vow with God. I stood before the almighty creator of the universe, the one who spoke life into existence, and I told him I would be faithful to this one woman the rest of my life, no matter what happened. That's huge, guys. It's better to, it's actually in scripture, it's better to not make a vow than to make a vow and not keep it, especially with God. God always kept his end of the covenant. He was always true to it. And I think of the time when Abraham labored over all the sacrifices and prepared the animals and split them in two, and him and God were supposed to walk down the row of these animal sacrifices to enter into a covenant. Well, Abraham tired and grew weak, and the presence of God that was there still walked through. He made his promise and he kept to it with Abraham, even though Abraham was unable to enter into it. Gosh, I hope it's Abraham. But that sticks out to me, that God will be faithful to us even if we are not. That's not to say I want to break the covenant I've made, but that's just when we waver, he is faithful, he is true, he is who he is, no matter what life may look like. And that's pretty incredible, especially as I'm in that in-between season. God is constant. I think of that song, I think it's my Hill song, maybe it's not, but there's a verse in one of these worship songs we have sung all too many times. It says that he's constant in the trial and the change. It's One Thing Remains by it's not Hillsong. Who is it? It'll come to me. It's not Bethel. Anyways, the song One Thing Remains talks about how God is constant through the trial and the change, and no matter what you feel, no matter what you're enduring, no matter what you're going through, he is there, he is present, and he is who he says he is, no matter what. So take heart in that. I will need to head back into work, but I will see you guys tomorrow for my next 10-minute ranting walk, whatever I'm going to call it, and see how God speaks and reveals himself to you. Continue to press on, continue to pursue what he's calling you to do, and continue to love him and love others. And follow the Instagram, I'll get back on it. It's at timeundertension.wgh, and like, share, and do all that good stuff to help build awareness and help push the brand a little bit. Thanks, guys.